In this episode, I want to talk about modern techniques for throwing throw bags, or at least what I think are modern techniques for throwing throw bags. This is what I'm going to call them antiquated throw bags. New throw bags, what I think are modern throw bags, look like this. I have a video I'll probably put up somewhere here that talks about what I think modern throw bags are. They're like carrots. They have big wide openings, you wrap around here, they throw really nice. These old throw bags kind of lend themselves to throwing underhand. And I feel like underhand is an old technique. You basically stand here on the shore, get some rope, you face the swimmer like this, and you throw it like that. Pretty simple, not that hard. There's a few downsides to this technique. One of them is we're not that good at throwing underhand. There's a reason quarterbacks throw overhand. There's a reason we shoot basketballs overhand. We're better at throwing overhand. Also, we see a lot of people throw bags, especially if they're not practiced. If they throw it, it goes down in the ground or goes straight up at the air, in the air. If you throw it like this, somewhere along this journey, you have to let go at the right time, and it has momentum taking it up. And so it's really hard to, without a lot of practice, to do this accurately all the time. Again, you might throw it like early and hits the ground. Or what I see a lot is people get excited and they throw it straight up in the air because they have to let go at the exact right time. If you throw a throw bag overhand, and this is the modern carrot style throw bag, I'm gonna do what's called a tomahawk, grab the end, and you throw like this, put your arm where you wanna go and throw, it's going to go that way. You're throwing it like that. There's no thing like this or big arc like this where it can be let go somewhere kind of weird along the way. So I'm a big fan of this. And also underhand, your feet are facing this way, your body's facing this way, and you throw underhand. Overhand, you aim your leg where you want it to go, aim your arm where you want it to go, and then throw. And you can be way more accurate. So I'm a big fan of this technique of throwing overhand. It works really well versus underhand. And I feel like it's a more modern technique, something we should be doing, and something that these modern throw bags allow us to do. You can throw bags like this overhand too, especially these NRS ones that are sloppy. There's a lot of slop in the top. You can grab this rope like this and tomahawk it as well. I call this a tomahawk. Some people will throw like a football. This works too, and I did this for a long time. But I now really like grabbing the extra bag here and just letting it rip. Again, my foot was pointed that way. I pointed my arm where I want it to go, and my foot and my arm will dictate where it goes. It helps you be way more accurate than, again, standing like this and hoping your hand grenade toss gets over there. So that's the throw, the first throw. The rethrow, I think, is actually where there's been we put a lot of thought into this and what works really well. And a lot of people will do the TRU method, which is some weird arm coil that I don't really know. I see a lot of people do butterfly coils, which I always forget how to do, so I don't do them either. But we've done a lot of tests with just coils. And I think the key to making coils work well is well, first of all, if you just coil rope in your arm like this, you notice how the rope's moving around and it's going to get messed up, right? That's kind of a big deal. Your goal here is to not have the coils get mixed up so that when you throw them, they come out clean. And that's why people do the TRU method, the wrap around the arm method. That's why people do the butterflies, is to avoid getting the coils mixed up. By moving them around, they get mixed up. If I go to throw them, let's see if they throw. They actually threw pretty well, right? And I was moving them around. But to do the best job, in my opinion, of getting nice coils that won't get tangled, what you want to do is start with the end. You threw the bag. I'm a big fan of putting my elbow on my knee, and I'm still looking upstream at where I'm going, and I'm going to make coils, and I'm not going to move my arm. I'm going to lay the coils, and if I do them right, they just barely touch the ground or land in the water. And with this technique, the coils land really nicely in each other. This rope is 70 feet. And so I'm about to coil 70 feet of rope this way. Nice. I'm not moving. My arm's not flapping around. I'm making like not huge coils, but smaller coils a little better, but they're touching the ground, which allows them to go nicely. And now I'm gonna rethrow. And all I do is, again, if I point my foot where I want it to go, I start like this, pointing where I want to throw, rope, and you can't see it, but it paid out. So I'm a big fan here of just doing regular coils. I don't have to think too much about butterflies. I can just look upstream with the swimmer and I can just do simple coils, and they pay out really well as long as you're not moving your arm all over the place. And again, if they land on the ground or in the water, they'll go really nice. So you can do this without thinking. You can be watching upstream while you're doing it. Once the swimmer comes halfway, you can just go rope and pay that rope out. One other technique I've seen people do, and I'm starting to believe is a pretty modern technique, and I was a hater at first. A lot of these techniques I was a hater at first. I was a big underhand thrower. I used to do my coils like this, and somebody taught me early on in my first rescue class to make a second set of coils. Right, this was my technique for a long time. And then you would throw, whatever. I've been to these techniques. I've tried them all. I've done a bunch of practice. And I'm convinced that the overhand tomahawk and the underhand coil method is the best after so much practice. And you can disagree with me, whatever. I've just practiced a lot. But one other technique that I've been shown and I'm experimenting with is the same thing. Make your coils here. And again, the key here is you don't have to look at these. Once you get good at this, your arm's not moving, you're looking upstream, you're watching to see if any swimmers come, right? The distance here is perfect to make nice, even coils. And you can throw coils overhand too. I have some hesitation to this because my goal here is to have these move the least. The least these move, the less chance they have to get tangled, but you can actually throw these overhand, rope, which is really effective. Those got a little bit tangled, but I've seen people do a really good job of throwing them. So just to review this, what this looks like in full, I have a waist belt throw bag that I like a lot. This is the WWTC one I wear. I can undo it really fast. I pull out a few feet of rope. I like to just have a few feet of rope on the ground. And I'm gonna do my first throw, rope, and go right down like this, do my coils. I really like the diameter of this rope too. This one feels really good in the hand. Wrap my coils. I can be pulling the first person in, let go of the rope. And then same thing, get my feet set up, pointed to where the swimmer is, put this arm out, rope, and throw super accurately. So those are my thoughts on modern throw bag throwing. These are my opinions based on my experience, my training, what I think is best. If you have different opinions, you want to educate me on better ways to throw, different modern ways to throw, things I try, please do. That's how I learn. As always, I learn so much from doing these videos. So I'm going to share with you what I think, what I've been trained on, what I've practiced. I'm adding my information to the discussion. Please add yours too. And if you're hesitant, you think that my ideas here are ridiculous, you should try them. Go ahead and give 5 throws for each one and just see what's more accurate. I think it'll change your mind if you disagree with some of this. And if you don't change your mind, cool, let me know, because I'd love to learn. So that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. See you next time. And don't forget to like and subscribe.